everybody, so I'm coming at you from a different location. I'm actually house sitting. So, this coming Friday is going to be the first Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about Mickey's Not So Scary and do a updated new video on some tips and tricks for that party I've learned over the few years. Now, normally I would be wearing Haunted Mansion ears or Halloween type ears during this video, but a friend from work the other day came over and gave me a few really awesome gifts, and one of those gifts would happen to be these ears, and they are from Disneyland Paris, and they are super awesome and super duper beautiful. So I wanted to wear these in the video because these are like my new favorite ears. They're so cool. So let's get started. So new this year, opposed to previous years, the Magic Kingdom is closing at 6 p.m. this year. Previous years it has closed at 7 p.m. So it gives you a little. The party actually doesn't start until 7, but the park is closing for other guests at 6. So it gives you a little bit of extra time that is just for people that have tickets to the party, which is pretty nice. So that's excellent. The second thing I can suggest is you can get into the park at 4. So that means from 4 to 6 you can make fast passes, even if you only have a Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party ticket. So if you're trying to get Seven Dwarfs Mine Train or something like that, that would be a good thing to try to fast pass during that small 2-hour window. But the party is less crowded, so if you want to try to get on Seven Dwarfs Mine Train and can't get a fast pass for it during that time period, I would suggest going during one of the parades. Now, we'll talk about that a little bit later, but that would be my suggestion, is to choose which parade you want to go to and then try to get on the more popular rides during the parade. So another new thing this year, they are doing an overlay on Space Mountain. They do this at Disneyland during Mickey's Halloween party there, so it'd be interesting to see what that's like. Space Mountain is one of my favorite rides, so I'm really excited that it's going to get a spooky Halloween layover. Then also the Teacups is getting some kind of psychedelic layover thing. They said that there's special lighting and stuff, and then it also reacts to your costume or your costume color, something to do with that. That one was a little bit vague, so I'm not totally sure what this is about, but it is one that I'm going to hit up that I normally don't take advantage of during Mickey's Halloween party because there's normally not a line for it during regular park hours anyways. So that's one ride that I want to hit up to see what the Halloween layover is. Another thing that they're going to be having is by Pirates of the Caribbean, there's going to be Pirates About. And they've never had that before. It'd be interesting to see what pirates they have. I know usually Captain Jack Sparrow does a meet and greet. So I'm not sure what other pirates they're going to have out. Disneyland did have the Redhead. I have not heard any rumors about that for Disney World, but it could always be a possibility, I guess. But they said there will be pirates about during the party hours, which is super cool. Which I had somewhere, but usually it's the same every year. So there's 2 parades during the night. So what I usually do, this is a suggestion, this is what I usually tell everybody. The first parade is earlier in the night, and the second parade is around 11:15. Now, that's pretty late for little ones, so that's usually the one that we will go to because it is later in the evening. It's after the fireworks and everything. So if you have little ones that you don't think that are gonna make it that late, because the party's open to midnight. If you have little ones that don't think that they're gonna make it that long, or you know, you want to do other stuff, I would suggest going to the first one. Now, if you want a less crowded parade with a lot less people, I would highly suggest you go to the second parade. And I've watched the parade from several different places over the years, and I think that my favorite spot to watch the parade has to be in Frontierland. And last year when we went, there's these square boxes in Frontierland between the side entrance to Adventureland and where the Country Bear Jamboree is. And now last year, because we watched the second parade and more people are more up towards the front of the park, because they either want to watch the last Hocus Pocus show or they're going to leave right after that parade because they've already done everything, they tend to be more at the front of the park. And there's more stuff going on at the front of the park as well. So we ended up staying towards the back of the park, and there was way less people. We ended up sitting on those square boxes and nobody was in front of us. Not even sitting on the ground, nobody was in front of us. We were able to sit there and rest our feet. I went and got a Dole Whip and I ate that, and my mom got I think she got a pretzel and a Diet Coke, so we sat there and ate that. And then during that time, also waiting for the parade, the Cadaver Dans come out, and they do their show, which is really fun. They do a couple of songs from Haunted Mansion, so if you're like a real Haunted Mansion lover like me, it's really cool. And they're all dressed up in their ghostly outfits, so that's something that I really highly suggest too. But that is my pro tip for the parade. Now, there is only one fireworks show, and this is absolutely the best fireworks show on property, especially if you're a Halloween lover like me, or love the Haunted Mansion, or Nightmare Before Christmas. That's all in this fireworks show, and it is awesome. And you definitely don't want to miss it. The best place to see the fireworks show is either going to be directly in the hub or around the hub. The last couple of years, if you're looking directly at the castle, we've been on the left side, and there's like a trash can there, and then there's a little food cart, and so it's like around the corner, almost towards the bridge to Adventureland, but more into the hub a little bit. And that has been really perfect standing there. You definitely want to be in or around, and I'll tell you why. That is specifically because the grand finale has a 360-degree firework effect. And it's really not 360 degrees, and it gets like 180, but they call it 360 degree. Which means when you're staring directly at the castle, fireworks will continue to go around you like this, coming at all in a 360-degree effect. It's very, very cool. And it is one of the only fireworks shows that they do it for. So, definitely don't miss that. That's definitely the best fireworks show on property, and many people would agree with me on that one. So then my other tip is don't get reservations during the time period of the Halloween party. And that is because your time is very limited. So this year, you get the extra hour of having the park by yourself. Things don't start until 7, but you have an extra hour, so you can do smaller things like rides. That's not exactly to do with the party. You can do rides and still do character meet and greets and stuff. They won't have their Halloween costumes on yet, but things like that. The princesses usually don't have their Halloween costumes, so you could go to Princess Fairy Tale Hall still. But your time is very limited. It's expensive for the ticket. You don't want to waste any weird party time, really. So, last year what we did, because you can get in at 4, we ended up doing reservations at Be Our Guest at 4 o'clock. So we got in and went straight back. But the thing is, they had that, it's like a cast member only alleyway that is by the bakery and the theater, and you can go back out that alleyway during the Halloween party event. And it's super cool, and they have these Halloween statues out and stuff, and that's why they give out candy and stuff. And we ended up speeding through there, and I wanted to go back and take pictures later, but later on they closed that off. They only open it for a certain amount of time during the beginning of the party. So that was something that we missed out on when we ended up going to Be Our Guest for dinner. And so my suggestion is to do a quick service that night for dinner. And to get there at 4, go somewhere like Columbia Harbor House or Cosmic Rays and get something light, and then you can enjoy your party. You know, you're probably only going to be spending 30 to 45 minutes, where at Be Our Guest is a sit down and you have to wait to be seated, and you're usually an hour to an hour and a half in there at the least. And that's not even, I mean, when Beast comes out, you have to go stand in line to meet the Beast and do all that. And it's great for pictures and your Halloween outfits, but really, the party time is very limited, and I feel like it's a waste to spend that limited amount of time that costs you a lot of money at a restaurant that you can eat at another park day. So that would be my suggestion for that. My other suggestion is, if you want a Halloween party bucket, get the Halloween party bucket, because last year they were very, very limited. I believe the party that I went to, which was 3 or 4 parties in, they sold out of the Oogie Boogie popcorn bucket. It's very, very, very popular. And it was very hard to find. I wanted to try and find it, but we were waiting in line for the Hocus Pocus show, and we did not get to go find it. And right directly after that, ended up selling out, so, and it never came back again. And this year they are bringing it back. It's a little more updated. It's a little bit cooler. There's some bright colors on it and a new strap on it, and it's very, very cool. I would highly suggest getting it if you want it. It's very sought after. So, people ask me all the time, should we bring another Halloween bag, Halloween bucket? You do get a load of candy. If you are planning on doing trick-or-treating, you get so much candy at this party. It is ridiculous. So my suggestion is you can bring another bag, but they do give you a small bag at the beginning of the party, but later on, if you ask, they will give you a bigger plastic bag. And they also suggest you can go into the store. Either you can buy something that you wanted to get, such as a t-shirt or whatever, for the party, or you can just ask them for a bag, and they can give you a bag, a big Disney shopping bag, and you can use that as candy bag. So it's totally up to you. I'm cheap, so I don't want to go and buy a Halloween bag that I'm only going to be using for this. Like last year, we didn't even do any trick-or-treating because my mom didn't want candy or whatever. My husband was very upset with me because I didn't bring any candy home. But this year, we're going to have my niece with us, so we plan on doing trick-or-treating. So we're going to have loads of candy. Two is, it's hurricane season, so, you know, not watching out for hurricane or whatever, but there is plenty of chance that it will rain. So you definitely want to make sure you have an umbrella, you have a poncho, something that you can put over your costume to save your costume, or protect you from the rain. The party is still pretty enjoyable. With that, the only thing that is a bummer is a lot of the really cool photo opportunities they have for a fast photo pass. They won't have them out because the cameras can't get wet in the rain. So that kind of stinks, but they will try to find indoor places to put them so you can still get some photos. Another pro tip that I kind of learned last year, they have a great photo opportunity out in the front of Magic Kingdom that is the Headless Horseman, and it's super cool, but we ended up doing it as we were going into the park, and it was still daylight out, and there's a really cool like moon effect and everything in the photo, and it kind of looked weird doing it in the daylight. So if you want that photo opportunity, I suggest doing it at the end of the night, or when it starts getting dark, head out and try to get that photo opportunity done while it's in the dark. Another tip, well, it's not really a tip, but it's a suggestion. This is a one-time situation that as an adult you can dress up as anything you want. So I highly suggest getting into the Halloween spirit and dressing up because it's a lot of fun. You know, if you go all out like we did last year with Hocus Pocus, we got so many compliments, and there was a lot of really great costumes. It's so fun to look at everybody's costume, what they come up with, and all these really cool greats. A lot of people do crossover stuff or big group costumes. They're really super cool, and it's great to see everybody dressed up and having fun. But I do suggest, it's still very hot during that time of year, even at night when the sun goes down, it's still hot and muggy. So I would wear something that is light and fresh and not, you know, ton stuffy, like animal costume outfit where you're like in a full plush thing, because it'll be hot. Last year we did the Hocus Pocus. Their dresses were fairly airy, so at least mine was, because my sleeves, so it's Sarah Sanderson, the sleeves are like see-through and there's a big slit up the dress, so it wasn't as heavy. I mean, the hottest part was probably the corset part, but my mom, she was Winifred and she had like velvet sleeves and everything, which were pretty hot. And then the other thing is, wear comfortable shoes. It doesn't really matter if they match your costume or whatever, nobody's gonna be looking at your shoes. I ended up wearing like more witchier shoes and my feet were killing me, and I ended up getting really big huge blisters by the end of the night, and my feet really hurt the next day, and we still had a couple park days left, so it kind of sucked. So definitely wear something comfortable for shoes, even if it doesn't quite match your costume. That's a good tip. Last year we did Princess Fairy Tale Hall. There's literally nobody in it, and then we did that when the park started closing down for the other guests. So that's a good one to do if you haven't done Princess Fairy Tale Hall. It's really cool inside, and you have usually Cinderella and Elena of Babylon, and you have Tiana and Rapunzel. And typically that does change if there's changes. So those are really cool to me. We did Mickey, and back then he was Talking Mickey, and they have since removed the Talking Mickey, so, but last year he was in his little vampire outfit, and he was super cute. I wanted to, and I still have yet to do, so I highly suggest if you want to meet Jack and Sally, that is the first thing you're going to get in line for at the beginning of the night if you want to meet them, because the line gets severely outrageous. Last year when we went, there was hardly anybody at the party. It was very, very, very low crowds. If you saw my videos from last year, you'll see how low crowds it was. If you want to meet Jack and Sally, that's one of the first things that you want to get in line for. They are in Liberty Square. If they keep everything the same as it was last year, I'm not guaranteeing they are, but the past couple of years they have been in Liberty Square, behind the Christmas store. There used to be where Tiana and Prince Naveen met. There's a little gazebo out there behind the Christmas store, just off to the left after the bridge behind the Christmas store, and that is where they meet and greet. That's where they have for the past couple years, so hopefully it stays the same and I'm not telling you wrong information. But if you want to meet and greet them, that is like the first thing you need to get in line for. Even with how low the crowds were last year, you know, I went up and the line looked really, really low, so I asked the cast member that was standing there, and she still said it was a 45-minute wait from that point. Which, like I said, when you have limited time at this party, you don't want to wait in line like that because you have other things that you need to do, especially if you want to watch the Hocus Pocus show or the fireworks or the parade, or even doing any trick-or-treating or anything. You have to, you know, kind of decide. I mean, even if you're getting in that line at the beginning of the night, you're still going to wait a little while because they don't come out till 7 and the line starts lining up. You know, probably at 6 this year because that's when, so you have to kind of pick and choose what you want to do. Another really popular one is all the 7 Dwarfs come out. That's very popular. If you want to get those, you have to go get in line. I believe that last year they met at Storybrooke. And who else did we meet? Moana. She was in Adventureland last year. And Captain Jack Sparrow is at Adventureland. We didn't meet too many characters during that time last year, but yeah, the Mickey was really great. I highly suggest that one because he's in his cute little outfit and you don't usually see that typically. Definitely do the photo passes because those are super awesome. They had a lot of new stuff last year. And video things, and if you're a Haunted Mansion fan, there's a lot of really cool Haunted Mansion stuff that they add in there. I won't give anything away, but it's really super cool. And then last year they had, I could not find it, so I really want to find it this year if they bring it back. But they had like a skeleton one where somebody would walk behind you with the effect and while the picture was being taken, and when it came out it was like a little skeleton guys were walking behind you. It was pretty cool. I never ended up finding where that was though. And then where was it? The Haunted Mansion, they had a really awesome photo thing last year too, that you can go up and hold the lantern. That was probably one of my favorite photos, right in front of the Haunted Mansion sign. And then they had the Tangled lantern was out, so you could do that photo opportunity. That's out normal hours too, so if you don't want to wait in line for it for the Halloween thing. Some people want to do it with their costumes, so especially it'd be really cool if you had your Tangled costume. Those are fun photo opportunities. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all my pro tips. There is new things this year. I believe they're having a little, for little ones, they have like a costume jubilee where, by Frontierland, where they do like a little parade of all the little kids' costumes. There's usually a party going on, a dance party over in Tomorrowland, and there's usually, I think they're having something in Frontierland for a party too, but I can't remember, so don't quote me on that one. They also have special treats and stuff. They haven't announced what those are yet, so I can't really comment on those. So look out for those. Yeah, so, and as of right now, none of the parties have sold out, not even for Halloween, which is very rare. So I highly suggest, this is one of my favorite events to go to. But if you need any help planning, you need to buy tickets, anything like that, I can always plan a last minute trip if you want to go. Food and Wine is coming out. I might do another little video on that. I noticed a lot of people not really knowing what Food and Wine is about lately, so I kind of wanted to do a little video on that. And if you need any help, I am here to help. I am a travel advisor with Magical Vacation Planner. So if you need any help planning your next Disney vacation or Disney cruise or anything like that, just give me a shout out. All my contact information will be below for you to get a hold of me for that, and you can always comment on the video as well. So I hope you guys have a magical day, and I'll see you soon. Bye!